Hello great people, welcome back to mindyourfinance.com. And again, if you're meeting for the first time, my name is Felix, and my goal, my mission is to share with all my viewers practical, actionable content which can help them plan for their resources or money, grow their money, build their money, and finally accumulate their wealth over time. So today I want us to talk about land buying and the reason as to why you really need to consider buying land not in the city but in satellite towns near the city, the metropolitan areas around the city. And the first reason as to why you need to consider that is cost of land. The cost of land in the cities today is very high. The cost of land, let's say a quarter an acre or an eighth an acre in the city and the surroundings, is very, very high. If you compare to the cost of land in the satellite towns near the city or in the metropolitan, you'll realize that the cost of land in the metropolitan is still very affordable. Let's say, for example, if you're in Nairobi, for example, then the cost of land in the surroundings or in the CBD, let's say Upper Hill, for example, the cost of land there is very expensive. But if you compare to places like, let's say, Juja, you'll realize that the price of land in Juja or Rongai, which is still in the metropolitan area, is very affordable compared to the city. So you really need to consider buying land there because it is very affordable. And when buying land, you really need to know that, why should you buy a very expensive land, let's say in Upper Hill, yet you can get affordable land in satellite towns like Juja or Rongai or Athi River. So consider that the cost factor, the cost of land is still affordable in the satellite towns. So that is the number one reason as to why you really must consider buying land in the metropolitan area. The number two is the cost of living. The cost of living in the CBD or in the estates near the city is just very high. If you compare to the cost of living in the metropolitan areas, the satellite towns near the city, let's say for example Kangundo Road, you'll realize that the cost of living there is very affordable, is very low. And you'll realize that, let's say for example groceries, you'll find so many markets in these towns selling fresh produce, fresh groceries, which is very affordable. So if you look at the cost, if you consider the cost of living in these metropolitan areas or in these satellite towns slightly far from the city or slightly far from the central business district, then you realize that that is the place you really need to buy a land from. And another thing you need to consider, the third thing you really need to consider is the environment. If you compare the environment in the city, let's just say for example pollution, comparing that to now living in a place slightly in town, slightly far from the city, and let's say Juja. If you go to Juja, the environment there is very conducive. It's free from pollution, free from congestion, and it's just, there's that you'll feel so nice because the environment and the air you're breathing is so fresh and is so clean. So that is another reason as to why you really need to consider buying a land in these satellite towns slightly far from the city. If you compare now, let's say you buy a land in, let's say, Upper Hill or Westlands. The truth is, the congestion in Westlands, the congestion in the city or in these estates within the city, you can't compare with someone who is now living, let's say, in Rongai. Now, the environment in Rongai, the fresh air they'll get there, you can't compare with someone living in the city, the CBD. So that's another reason. So if you're somebody who is, you really love this nice, conducive environment, you'd really want to breathe this clean air, you really want to enjoy this clean environment, you fear congestion, so you just need a place which is just calm, the place where, let's say, if it's a weekend, when you're sleeping, when you're at your place, there is no noise pollution, there is just nice air, there's nice environment. Then that is another reason as to why you must consider buying a land far from the city. And the fourth one, I would say that, let's say, for example, the price appreciation. If you buy a land today in CBD, for example, it will be expensive. And I admit the prices of land will appreciate over after some time. But if you compare the rate at which the price of land in the CBD will appreciate compared to if you buy a land in a place, let's say Kamulu or Joska. If you buy a land in Kamulu today, first, the land is very affordable. You'll buy land at a very fair price. But now, after, let's say, 5 years, if you consider the rate at which the price of land there will, the way it shall have appreciated, it will be very high. Because these satellite towns slightly far from the CBD, the land there appreciates based on the infrastructure. The moment even a road is constructed, the moment infrastructure is developed or is improved, the prices of land in these satellite towns, slightly far from the city, really appreciates very fast. So you really need to consider buying land there. And it doesn't matter the reason as to why you're buying land. If you're somebody who is buying land for residential land, then you need to consider living there because, number one, the cost of living is very affordable, the price of land is cheap, and again, even the construction, the price of the construction there is slightly cheaper compared to constructing a building in the city and its surroundings, or the CBD and its surroundings. So that is one reason. Then another one, if you're somebody who is not buying a residential land and you're just buying a commercial plot or land, then the buildings, the people are moving outside the city. Like, people are looking for places where they can, where the lifestyle is not very expensive, or where the cost of living is affordable. And as people go outside the city, then the commercial properties people build there, which they build at affordable cost, population also increases in these places. So if you're looking even to buy a commercial land, then that is another reason you really need to consider that, because the commercial land will be affordable. Then after a short period of time, the price of that land shall have appreciated, and even if you want to build your own commercial residentials, then, or commercial buildings, then they will be occupied and you will get your returns within a very short time. So another reason, another property, for example, if you are looking to, you want to buy what we call speculative land. So if you're looking into buying a speculative land, then that's another reason as to why you really must consider buying land in these satellite cities or towns. Because if you buy, let's say your interest is to buy land today, for example, you are somebody who believes in living in the city. So you live in Kilimani, for example, you want to live in town, in the city. So that is where you live currently. But you just want to invest some money, and you speculate that after maybe 1 year or after 5 years or 10 years, the prices of land shall have appreciated. So you just want to buy a land, then when prices go high, you sell it. Or you're just speculating, let's say Konza City, you're just speculating that you want to buy a land, then when some developers would want to buy land in future, you will sell to them. Then that is, you really need to consider buying a land in these satellite towns slightly far from the city, because that land is affordable and the prices will increase within a very short period of time. The prices shall have increased. And if you compare now, let's say, because I know all of us, we believe that prices of land do appreciate, whether it is in the CBD or far from the CBD. The reasons as to why the prices of land in these satellite cities or the metro towns slightly far from the city, the reason as to why the prices of land there appreciates more than the prices of lands in the city is because, for example, if you buy a land in, let's say, Upper Hill, already the roads are good, they already have food, the infrastructure is already taken care of. So the prices of land will appreciate, but not as much as compared to if you buy a land, let's say in a place in, let's say Kamulu. Then you buy land when the roads are not yet done. The electricity is not there, for example. When the road is done, the prices of land shall have doubled. Or when the electricity comes, or the water is finally there, or the sewer system is finally connected, the prices of land shall have appreciated greatly. So there's if you consider, we have so many reasons as to why prices of land in the metropolitan or the metro towns will appreciate more than the prices of land in the CBD or in the city. So if you're buying a land in town, already it is very expensive. So when you want to sell the same land, it will take you a very longer time for the prices of land to increase or to appreciate. And also getting a buyer, for example, if you're you want to buy a speculative land. So if you buy a land in town, even getting a buyer will take you centuries, will take you a very long time. But then if you buy, because it is very expensive, so your clients are very specific. But then if you buy a land in slightly, let's say Juja, getting a buyer when you want to sell this land, if it was a speculative land, getting a buyer will not be very difficult because the land is affordable, and there are so many reasons as to why somebody would want to buy land there. So basically that is what I wanted us to share today, and I just want you to note that before you buy any land, before you commit, it is whether you have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money, before you buy any land, you really need to consider, ask yourself this question: why should you buy an expensive land, yet you can get a land which is more affordable? So after asking yourself that question, if you get more reasons to buy land expensively in the city or in the CBD, then go ahead and buy. But if you don't find the reason as to why you really need to waste more money there, then consider buying a land in the metropolitan areas or the surroundings of the city, or in the satellite towns near the city. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If there's something I've not tackled, or if you have a question in relation to what we've talked about, I was just giving the guidelines. So if you have a question, any question, just comment or ask in the comment section below. Or if there's a point you really feel, maybe you are an expert as well, and you feel that there are some points I've left out, you can as well write you can as well share that in the comment section, so that we can just learn as a family, we learn as a team, so that we can grow together. That's all I wanted to share today. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel and share with someone. Till next time, bye.